ladies with an attitude.
Welcome to the Heaven online magazine. It's the month of March and I'm joined in our fabulous new studio by the LWA. Joining me on tonight's panel are the fabulous Sharon Lewis, Christy Heaven. Well, that was a crap thing for Christy. Again. Christy Heaven. Yay! Wendy Thomas.
Yay!
And me, Heaven.
Yay! Actually, she's got a crowd sound.
Yeah, crowd sound.
Yeah, in front of a live audience.
Yeah, we could have a few woos in
yeah,
isn't it?
It's good.
Marvellous.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Bonkers Talk, and this issue is called My Bonkers Brain. So the theme for tonight was we're going to reveal 5 bonkers facts about ourselves. So we're going to give them to you one at a time, starting with Sharon.
Okay, so I feel like I am unique. I feel like I'm different to everybody else.
That's true.
And I am rhesus B negative blood group.
Oh,
I'm literally an alien.
Wait, what does that mean?
It means that they
rare.
can't trace it back to any ancestors on this planet.
Are you related then?
Well, you're my auntie, but
I know.
how do you rhesus B?
I don't know what I am.
You're not then.
No,
if
I'm
you
not.
were, you know.
No, I wouldn't. No, they've never said.
Yeah.
Well, that's quite interesting.
It is very interesting.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
It's downhill from there, and it's like, oh.
Okay.
All right. Christy.
I sleep talk to my dog. So I have been told many times that I talk to my dog in my sleep on several occasions. And I referred to Bella, and I'm like, you should turn the oven off. I tell the dog to turn the oven off. I tell her to go take herself to the toilet, and I've told her to move over.
How do you know all this? Because the dog tells you in the morning.
No, my sister tells me. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, it's exclusively the dog. Like, I don't talk to anyone else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my first fact is when I was 2.5, my younger sister Sarah was born, and obviously everybody was fussing around the new baby, and me being the show off and wanting to be the star of the family. Got my Orinoco teddy bear, one of the Wombles.
Yeah.
Pulled his nose off and stuck it as far up my nostril as I could, which resulted in me being rushed to A&E and having it taken out with forceps.
Just for you to get the attention from the baby.
Yeah, just to get the attention from the baby.
Say no more.
I stuffed Orinoco's nose up my nose.
Well, bloody hell.
Okay.
Okay. Mine is, I haven't done it for a while. I'll have to try to see if I can still do it. But I used to be able to pop both my legs around my neck and drink a glass of cider. I've done it in pubs and everything.
No, I tell you what, you're not doing it on this, love.
No, I
That's that thing. I've got a drinking one too. We are related.
Yes, we are right, Rick.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that wasn't too bad.
That's
If
not
we
too
ease
bad,
ourselves
no.
in gently. Okay. Right. Sharon.
Okay. Well, this is a pub-related one. I once dislocated my kneecap playing air guitar on my friend's shoulder. And it hurt really bad. So I drank lots and lots and lots, and I continued to dance through the night until I got up in the morning, and my phone was at the bottom of the stairs then on the table.
Yeah.
On the phone table at the bottom of the stairs. So I managed to get down to the stairs, phone my friend, and I was in so much pain, I cried and peed myself on the bottom of the stairs.
Oh.
But my friend came up to take me to hospital, and we didn't know which one was rougher, so we went to her. I was like, no, it's me.
Sharon fun. Christy.
I spent my 18th at a haunted castle. I think
That's different.
I mean, as 18s go, usually it's
They'd have
spent
pubs,
getting drinking
yeah.
because you've just,
turned
reached the
18.
age, or, you get driving lessons, or
You
you do
decided-
something fun. But
You decided to have the
I forced my friends to stay in a haunted castle.
Oh,
no.
got scared
Did you
to
get any
death.
presents?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And it was terrifying. And I'm like, I don't know if it's a good birthday, a bad birthday brush.
You'll remember.
Well, at least your Willies put up with them. Boom, boom.
Okay. Right, well, when I was little, I was nicknamed a magpie. And it was
Shoplifting, did it?
all the glitter, you know, I was really, really attracted to. But you're not far off the mark, because when I was about 2 or 3 in a buggy, my neighbour used to take me up the local post office, and she'd walk out and I'd have a mitt full of deeper sympathy cards in my hand because they were all gold and silver embossed. As I said, you know, the magpie, ooh! And she'd have to go back into the shop and and back. She stopped taking me after that. So.
Yeah. So, right, next one with me is that I once flanned Keith Chegwood.
Good. Oh, you put a flag
Actually flanned Keith Chegwood.
Right, okay,
Yeah.
so how? Why?
Because he was on stage and they asked for a volunteer and just everybody just went Wendy. So I just went running up, picked up the flan and
Adam.
I flanned Keith Chegwin.
And was it like a nice, you know,
Oh, he did that.
flan?
Oh, I don't know. It didn't.
A cream
it,
flan?
Oh, didn't. It was nothing sexual. Of licking it off and after flanned him.
You just
Just flanned him. Just flanned. Yeah.
Moving on to Sharon again.
Oh, well, I'm anaphylactic allergic to eggs and poultry.
Yes, don't we know it?
Yes.
She's one of these pain in the arses when
Yeah.
we
Well,
have a
unfortunately, I got to
celebration.
carry an EpiPen, and if I eat egg, then I got to be rushed to A&E. So,
Such a drama queen.
I know, it's not put on. No. I can't help it.
Also, you weren't after attention.
No,
It's
nothing to do
no.
with attention or
Right,
anything.
okay.
It's just survival
So I
technique.
can understand that.
It's just a survival technique. Don't feed me egg, I need to live.
Okay. Christy.
Right.
Okay, for 6 years, I had a life-size David Tennant cardboard cutout in my bedroom.
And when did you get rid of it?
Not long ago. See, I had a kind of unhealthy obsession with Doctor Who growing up. And like I took it to the extreme. I had to have him in my bedroom. And like so many times my family members would walk in and think we were being robbed. Because like he looked so real, and obviously he's like 6 foot tall.
Oh,
so like,
God.
he would cast a shadow on the wall and like freak me out sometimes. But yeah,
David's gone.
David's gone now.
David's dead.
Okay. Mine next. Okay. So when I was 3.5.
Jesus Christ, it's a memory, you know. I can't remember.
I actually got my mother to tell me the exact
right, okay.
age because I
Right.
thought, you know, she'd only pull me up. So yeah, I was approximately 3.5.
Right.
And she was doing the ironing, and I grabbed a chair and then put a box on a chair and another box to climb up onto top of the fridge freezer, where I found a bottle of Junior Aspirin, ate the lot.
Oh, they lovely, weren't they?
Yeah, they're orange flavour.
They
Orange.
They were really nice.
Yeah.
Got rushed to A&E, had to have my stomach pumped, which I can remember to this day. It was horrific. And after they pumped the stomach then, and you know I was in the bed, the doctor proceeded to tell my mother and father off for leaving these things around. And while they were telling my parents off, I was sat in the bed eating a packet of wax crayons that the doctors gave me to colour in. Oh, my mother was vilified. There she was like, come on, she's on your watch now. And there she is.
God.
Wax crayons. So yeah, that was my overdose.
As I said, I can't remember things when I was a kid. Jesus Christ, can't remember that far back. I spent my wedding night in A&E when I broke my ankle obviously my wedding day. Got up to sing karaoke, as you do. Stood up on the chair and just wanted everybody to see me, and stepped down, but I take my shoes off, but I'd forgotten that I'd taken my shoes off. So I misjudged the floor, and as I stepped down, I heard crack. And I remember Sharon looking at me, but I just carried on singing because the show goes on, doesn't it? And then I handed the microphone to my daughter and looked at her, and she said, 37. I said, yeah. Took me outside, yeah, broke my ankle. And sitting there in a wedding dress, and the woman who was taking the x-ray, the nurse, actually said to me, have you changed your name recently because of your name has been scribbled out on the paperwork? I was like, I'm sitting here in a wedding dress. And I thought, Christ, if she can't see that, how the hell is she going to see it? if it's broken or what? Yeah, so that's that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sharon, number 4.
Right. Okay, so my party trick back in the day was down in a bottle of WKD Blue, holding 2 straws in one go.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah. And I'd be challenged and I'd always win.
I think I've done it with a pint though, haven't you? Actual pint of beer.
Yeah, gondola pint, yeah. But a bottle of WKD Blue with the 2 straws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we'll hold you to that. That's
Yeah.
next awards night.
Yes. I do.
Yeah. Christy.
Okay, so throughout junior school, I managed to trick everyone that I was actually playing the violin. Because I was in several school concerts and I pretended to play throughout every single concert. So, like, every school concert we did, every couple of months, I would just lift the bow a little bit off the strings and just pretend follow everyone.
God!
And they honestly believed that I was playing. I tricked everyone.
Oh,
when I was a child.
Yeah.
I also did it with the xylophone. I pretended to bonk the xylophone.
Oh my God!
I was so
Oh,
bad.
so deceitful.
So deceitful.
Even though you're not related to me.
No.
I would never do anything so deceitful. Okay. Bit of a theme by her now,
Yeah.
okay, with me and A&E. But this one was a corker. So I was slightly older now and getting a bit more adventurous, and I used to love frightening people, just creeping up on them. So one Saturday morning I got up, threw the quilt over my head, and I thought, I have my older sister Michelle by her now. So walked across the landing, big duvet over my head, turned and went, ah! Realised I took the wrong turn and I went head first down the stairs. Smashed my collarbone in, and everyone come running, and that's all they could see was this white lump on the
God. Oh my God. Oh.
Misjudged.
Misjudged. I have just remembered something from school, actually.
Oh.
When we were remember years ago, and you used to have the bottles of milk.
Oh yeah, the milk monitors.
Well, my trick in school was I used to drink the milk, and then, sounds awful, but everybody used to laugh and think it was hysterical. I would drink the milk, and then I'd actually have it coming out of my nose.
That's lovely, man. That's just a
But
trick.
years and years later, I was reading this book, bit of porn, I think it was actually. And it was saying about the prostitutes in Jack the Ripper time, and you could always tell a good prostitute to a brilliant prostitute.
I know what you're gonna
because
say.
they would sort of like say hello, swallow it, and then have it coming from their nose to show it. Yeah. So, I would just remember that now.
Thanks for sharing. That's sharing is caring,
Yeah.
Wendy. Lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, Sharon.
Okay,
come
we'll
back
go
in.
back to the A&E department. When I was 16, I had a few alcoholic beverages, and back in the day, the pubs used to shut at 2. So I thought it was a good idea to learn how to ride a motorbike. So we were down Swansea Beach, taking a met. Yay! Waving to a little kid. Went straight into a sewer pipe. So you know it on the movies, you see air, sand, air, sand, air, sand. Well, that was me. So my boyfriend at the time thought I was winded, put me on the back of the motorbike, drove me home, stood up, lost use of my legs, broke my back, in hospital for 3 weeks, and I was have to walk around in a plaster splint for months and months and months. That's because I was being kind
That's my niece.
to a little kid. Yes.
Oh, Christy, your final one.
Okay, so growing up, I always used to cry at the most ridiculous things. And I have like a catalogue of all the just weird things that I would cry at. And you've seen the Flintstones, the live action Flintstones?
Yeah.
When Bam Bam had his makeover, it was the worst thing in the world, and I would be hysterical crying at Bam Bam having his haircut.
Oh.
Also, Mr. Blobby, when he has his face pushed into a cake, I would ridiculously cry on top of my lungs and wouldn't watch
Oh,
that.
Blobby.
Blobby. But like I couldn't watch Blobby having his face pushed into a cake. And then there was the time where I hysterical cried in Swansea Museum because I didn't want to go in the mummy room.
Oh.
I can understand that, but not the Blobby.
No.
Yeah, and then there was the time in Disney where I cried hysterically on Nautilus because I thought I was genuinely being attacked by a giant squid.
Oh, God. Right.
When was that last year?
No, but I think we're going back about 10 years, so...
Also, again, in Disney, I cried because I thought everyone was actually... When they said they were going on Space Mountain, I thought everyone was actually going to
on
space.
Mountain.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And I cried for ages because I thought
But
my
then
mum
come
was
back off
going
the
into
ride.
space.
Oh,
But
God.
you saying that, mind, about Disney, I absolutely broke my heart when I watched the Beauty and the Beast thing. When watching Beauty and the Beast, the actual show,
Yeah.
I was sobbing so much that when it finished and I was walking out, and I thought I went to, won't say his name, I thought I was grabbing his hand, and this was like that. And when I looked, it was this total stranger. But I've been crying so much. I was walking out with this total stranger. I was like, oh, sorry. Yeah, so I
That's
understand
not
that.
so weird, though, is it? But like
That's
crying at
weird,
Mr. Blobby.
Yeah,
and
that's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Right, my last one
Right.
is my wonderful father convinced me for years that my middle name was Archibald. I really believed him. He's honest. I was convinced until, as I said, I found my birth certificate years later that I was Emma Archibald Vaughan. I was really distressed over it.
Bloody hell.
I know my father was like for practical
Yeah.
jokes. As I said, this carried on for years.
Years and years.
And he'd tell my school friends, and I'm
know.
devastated. I would be hysterically crying then, but I'd love it now. If I really wish my middle name was Archibald. I'd love it.
Well, should we start calling you Archie? Emma Arch.
Emma
Arch.
Yeah, I had a dog. I named my dog
Oh,
Archie
is
then,
it?
didn't I, Archibald?
Oh, no, we won't
So,
then.
yeah.
We
So,
won't
yeah.
then. We won't then.
No.
I think with me, the last one is that I won holidays and cars and all the rest of it through selling vibrators. You know, and sexy underwear. And it just, when I think back and think, bloody hell, I went to Jamaica and I went
You had an extravagant lifestyle on the back of sexy.
It was on the front page of the Sun, wasn't it? To the family, Wendy.
Yeah, that's another story.
The
The Mirror.
Oh, the Daily
Mirror, come on, get
Yeah.
the tabloid press.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we all remember that one.
So that was my claim to fame with that as well.
Yeah.
Yes, this, yeah.
We're doing really good.
Yes. I'm not forgetting Paddy McGuinness, being with Paddy McGuinness, you know, in a tub. So, yeah.
So that's it. 5 bonkers facts about us, and
Yes.
we hope you enjoyed them. And if you've got any bonkers facts, send them in to us. I'm
Yes,
sure we'd
especially
love
if it
to
involves us. For us to say.
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
Oh,
remember
Wendy's
that.
laid down the gauntlet now. So on that note, we're going to finish, and we will see you next month. Bye!